I never said I wanted to be a movie star, but I did say that, you know, acting is what I want to do, and I was probably around the age of 9 or 10. It was young.
Taylor Lautner arrived in Hollywood with everything it takes to be a teen idol. But rather than take the Disney path to fame, he spent years auditioning and taking small roles, all the time looking for that elusive part that would kickstart his career. It arrived in the form of a generation-defining blockbuster. But is this somebody driven by the need to be an actor or simply to be famous?
Lautner definitely strives to be a successful actor, but along with that, I feel like he loves fame.
We've had criers. This was for me, Eddie Gathegi, and Rochelle Lefebvre. We all toured the United States together. I always tell fans, sometimes fans are like, so, will you date a fan? Is that an option? I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to exclude anyone, so we'll see.
He kind of seems to enjoy the game. He probably seeks it out.
Taylor, everybody! Someone took your picture 15 times in like 3 seconds.
That's crazy. I don't believe it yet.
Blushing. You're not used to this yet?
No, I'm not actually. It's a lot of fun. Wow. Did Robert Pattinson just show up?
Taylor wasn't a huge part of Twilight, so he didn't do a ton of press for it, yet he really put himself out there. He was the one who was eager to talk to fans, which actually worked out perfectly.
I definitely think he made the best of it. He might have been the best thing, marketing and press-wise, that movie could have had.
There's songs being sold on the internet that have Team Taylor written on the front of them, and
not Team Jacob, but Team
Taylor.
Yeah,
which is very personal.
Yeah, and one of my family members, I think it was like my grandparents or something, they sent me a link, and they're like, "What is this?" And I was just like, I don't know. I'm waiting for the day where someone goes, "Can you sign my underwear?"
At 10 years old, your family decided to move from Michigan to Los Angeles and support your dream of working in films. That's an amazing thing for a 10-year-old to go through. What was it like then, moving the whole family across the country?
The interesting thing is I was 10, so I really didn't process it at the time. I was like, yeah, cool, my family's moving to California. This is going to be fun. And now, looking back on it, I'm like, good thing it worked out. Because if it didn't, this would not be fun at all.
When a 10-year-old decides, instead of riding my bike or riding my big wheel, I'm going to be a Hollywood celebrity, and family, I need to go to Hollywood to move and to pursue my career, that's pretty hardcore.
There's probably a little bit of pressure, but I think that it's in a positive way, and it just sort of helps them grow together.
You see him on the red carpets as a young boy, doing cartwheels and smiling and jumping around. Like, he looks excited to be in Hollywood.
Is it your first big film? Yeah, it's first big. Well, I've been to other premieres, but it's first big film.
She starred in the adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
It's very fun.
It was a lot of fun.
We got to do a lot of wire work stuff, and
that was one of my favorite parts.
Flying and jumping off cliffs and all this stuff, and it was lots of fun.
After that, he was relegated to the world of supporting roles and little bit voiceover work where he could get it, but he was by no means a star or a household name just yet.
So everybody's going to know who you are? Yeah, I don't know.
Even with special skills like martial arts training, Taylor wasn't able to halt the cycle of one-hit wonders.
He was so eager to succeed, yet it really wasn't happening for him. Now that he's in Twilight, he really feels like he's paid his dues, even though he's only 18 years old.
I didn't know about it. I had never heard of it, and my agent, he told me, he was like, this project's big, and I was like, really? I've never heard of it, Twilight? And then when I was cast, I did my research and found out how big it was and what the potential was, and it was just blown away. I was like, what am I getting myself into? And I'm just really excited to be part of it now.
It's kind of hard to believe that Taylor Lautner, who's so focused and so into his career and knows what's going on at all times, didn't know that Twilight, this little book that sold 57 million copies and was a New York Times bestseller, was not going to be a big hit.
I do believe that he probably didn't research it ahead of time. I mean, back when Twilight was being cast, this was not a big deal. No one had any idea that this was going to be huge. And so I think at the time, it was another role when it was first cast. I don't think anyone was really aware of how big it was.
A few years back, you went to a book signing. Yeah, tell me about that one, because that was one of the first early things that when you were out as Taylor, and you instantly accepted as Jacob.
In Grand Rapids, Michigan. I went back to my hometown and basically just wanted to share the thanks to them, you know, and it was a lot of fun. That was one of the first moments.
I've heard he's super sweet, and I've heard of all the things he does. Like, he showed up to the Breaking Dawn release party and signed until 4, just on his own. He's such a sweetheart.
I think that he was pretty clueless in the beginning. He just sort of went to that thinking that he was just going to hang out and sign some things, and it's his personality that he would just go to something casually and not really know the extent of what was going on.
What's up? How you doing?
Yeah.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Hello, good. How are you doing?
Taylor is very savvy about his life and his career, and he understands that if he's going to have a very long career and a successful career, he's going to have a huge fan base, and he really plays into that.
It's bigger than A-list celebrities, I think, because there's a frenzy. I mean, the power of a 13-year-old girl trumps anybody else in the world.
We had this big fan event. There was like 4,000 fans, and there was a red carpet, and they're surrounding it. And the ones at the front, if they don't have anything to sign, they'll just stick out their hands and their arms. And I was going down, signing these arms from arm to arm, and all of a sudden I get to one, and it has a huge, the Wolfpack tattoo on her arm. I signed it, and the next day I get a call from one of my friends saying, "Hey, did you sign somebody's arm the other day?" I'm like, "Yeah, I signed plenty of arms." And they're like, "Well, it's right beneath the tattoo, and it's tattooed to her arm now as well." So I didn't know whether to feel bad because now she has a tattooed signature of me on her arm or not. It was so weird.
He plays the game and he seems to enjoy the game, which I think makes it all the easier to like Taylor Lautner.
There's definitely a lot of fans that separate onto separate teams, and I don't know. I mean, sometimes it gets me a little nervous because I'm trying to live up to the fans' expectations and trying to represent Team Jacob, you know, in the right way. I don't want to disappoint them, so that's why I work so hard to not only mentally and emotionally but physically change as well for this role, because this guy's some pretty good competition.
Taylor Lautner's perseverance and charm has made him one of the most famous actors on the planet.
You think I get all these dates?
But can he find a way to balance a personal life with a star-sized public persona?